Homelessness, addiction, mental health, issues that can fuel crime in our city.
Tonight, News 13 investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhardt takes you behind the scenes to show you how the city's new Unarmed Community Safety Department is responding to those problems on the streets and just how much growing that department still has to do.
Just as the sun rises, homeless who spent the night in a tent city near I-40 in Albuquerque are greeted by fire trucks, an ambulance responding to a medical call, and police arriving at the camp.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Louisiana Boulevard.
Farther east, Walter Adams and Jenny Carrion are dispatched to their first call.
There's a lot of people right now that sometimes feel like nobody's listening.
But these partners on patrol aren't police.
We're behavioral health responders.
Behavioral health responders with Albuquerque Community Safety, or ACS, are now a third option for 911 dispatchers and emergency response.
We're able to engage a little bit more, build a rapport, and kind of get them the help that they need.
Status change accepted.
Trained in de-escalation and crisis intervention, their first call this morning, Albuquerque Fire Rescue dispatched the pair to a dentist office near Louisiana and Manal. A female worker opening for the day found a man sleeping outside the business and called the city.
Good morning, Albuquerque Community Safety.
The man is just waking up.
Good. Are you connected to any type of services or anything? No.
Like a lot of people living on the streets, he says he's not interested in going to a shelter. But Adams and Carrion don't stop there.
Right now, probably the closest place to here.
They point him to resources, handing him a card listing shelters, pickup times, places to go if he needs warm clothes or a meal.
Do you have your ID or any of your documents and stuff like that?
They learn his wallet was stolen on a bus, then explain how he can get help.
I'm Jenny. Nice to meet you.
Since they're not law enforcement, they can't force him to leave, which they explain to the woman who called it in.
Like I said, just call back if you need us.
Okay.
Thank you. ACS started hitting the streets in September. Adams was among the first teams.
It's rewarding.
Data from the first few months shows most of the calls ACS responds to are for, quote, unsheltered individuals, but they also respond to welfare checks, people with drug or alcohol problems, or in a mental crisis, and suicide calls.
There's times that we have, transported people for evaluation to one of the local hospitals, and there's times that it didn't raise to that level and that person just needed to talk.
Talking and spending time with people to calm them down, get medical help, or point them to resources. That extra time spent is time a strapped police and fire department doesn't always have.
So the goal really when we go out is sometimes just to build that rapport.
Mariela Ruiz Angel is the ACS department director.
Some days it's great because you get that person who's like, I'm ready to get off the street, I'm ready to get sober, I want services, I want to be with my kids, and they will get in that car.
Other times,
are you out here by choice? Yeah.
People aren't interested in getting off the streets or connecting with resources.
I feel like all hope is lost here.
No. If we came across him tomorrow, we'd do the same thing.
Ruiz Angel knows drugs and mental illness play a big role, but says their strategy is repetition and rapport, and they're in it for the long haul.
Maybe you didn't get to them that first time or that 10th time, but maybe the 25th time that you go and talk to them, you pick them on the day where they've hit rock bottom.
Unlike police, ACS staff don't carry weapons.
The most that they have is their jackets and their voices.
They don't even have a mace?
No mace. And neither do, social workers have been doing this work for years.
But 95% of the time, people on the streets do have a weapon, mainly for self-defense, she says.
What we really gauge for is the weapon a threat. Almost always it's never a threat. Now, if somebody is threatening to kill themselves or kill somebody else, that's an indicator for us to probably bring in police.
How often does that take place?
I would say maybe like 1 in 20 calls, even less.
Building a rapport with officers also takes time. She says police and fire are now requesting ACS responders at certain calls.
I think we work very well with our counterparts.
With 45 field responders, Ruiz Angel hopes to bring 50 to 100 more on board each year and eventually assign area beats to teams of 2.
We absolutely need more responders.
How are you able to move your toes and everything like that?
Armed with water bottles, trash bags, and blankets, Adams and Carrion feel like they're making a difference, even when they respond to a call and find no one there.
Hello, good morning. Anyone home?
It happened a few times during our ride-along.
We're not police, we're just coming to see you're okay.
Calls Adams says would have taken police hours to get to, with chances of the same outcome.
So they can concentrate on like crime.
With homelessness on the rise and violent crime at an all-time high, are they making a difference?
I don't know if we'll see a decrease in homelessness. My hope is that we could see that.
She also hopes to see fewer use of force cases and more crisis intervention.
It's exciting to be part of something that could be, change.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
You can read ACS's full data report to see the calls they respond to online and always on KRQE.com. The mayor is asking City Council for an $8.1 million funding hike for ACS. That would double the department's current budget.